Today we're diving into a critique of a visual submission featuring a boy in vintage clothing standing barefoot on another boy's back. To pull a spray can right out of a municipal graffiti is a crime sign, all set against a wall with a painted-over gray patch.
Right, and we really need to evaluate the transitions between ideas here, because looking at the logical progression of the piece's composition in those first 15 seconds, there are some structural things to address right away.
Absolutely. The primary focal point heavily anchors the viewer's eye on the upper action, slightly disrupting the visual flow down to the foundational elements of the piece.
Yeah, that visual transition between the boy reaching for the spray can and the boy supporting him, it just lacks a strong connective path. I mean, the action at the top is so compelling, right?
Oh, for sure. The stenciled hand breaking the plane of that physical
What
sign
on earth do you
is
think you're
conceptually
doing?
loud.
Give me that right now!
Exactly. And because of that, the bottom figure feels somewhat disconnected from the punchline of the piece. The viewer's gaze gets stuck at the top, interrupting the logical progression of reading the image from the base up to the climax.
Our brains are wired to stop and process that red warning on the sign, so the eye refuses to travel back down the human ladder to see how we even arrived at this moment. You're looking at the climax and, completely missing the buildup.
Right. So to fix this, we suggest strengthening the visual transition by adjusting the posture or interaction between the two figures. You want to create a continuous, logical progression of energy and tension from the ground up to the sign.
And we can do that with some pretty concrete adjustments. Like, if we tilt the bottom boy's head slightly upward. Right now he's looking down, but tilting it up means his gaze creates a leading line toward the action above him.
Yeah, that's a great example. The eye naturally follows where a subject is looking. And we also need to modify the interaction where the top boy's barefoot meets the supporting boy's back.
Because right now it looks a bit pasted on, right? Like it's just hovering.
Exactly. So perhaps by adding subtle shading or like a slight depression in the clothing, you emphasize the physical weight. That creates a clearer visual transition of energy between the two figures. Grounding that physical energy builds a continuous sequence.
Wait, hold on. Let me push back on this a bit.
Oh?
If we emphasize the bottom boy so much, like making the strain and the weight on his back really prominent, don't we risk accidentally distracting from the powerful interaction with the sign?
I see what you're saying, but